let me just put the break here for a second. As someone who's coming from a career coaching background, I can tell you this. Coaches, all of you coaches or strategists, I know you're watching right now. If you're not watching right now, you will be watching this replay, and I want to make sure that you watch this replay. After working with a few hundred of senior level and even executives from companies such as Apple's and Amazon alone, I've helped 3 bar racers most recently who land a position, a leadership role at Facebook and at Google. Okay. So I know how the system works. I can tell you this. Nobody has perfect story. Nobody. I bet you anything if I were to interviewed with a company before, and I'm going to talk about how many coaches that I have to help me get to where I am right now. I don't even have the perfect story and I'm coaching you. And that takes years to master. Okay. So if you see that most people fail the job interview because of just 2 things, and professionals, I promise you, I will answer all of your Q&A right here. I appreciate your time and spending with me, but I need your full undivided attention. Number one reason is that you're so overly excited to land a position with one of the top FANG company, your dream company, like the Amazon, the Apples, the Google of the world, that you didn't even allow yourself time to prepare. You don't even do that. Even when you land into my cohort and then found out that your interview is actually next week and you don't listen, you will bomb your interview. You see where I'm going here? So just because you landing a job interview is actually very easy. Let me repeat, landing a job interview with all these companies are a piece of cake because all you have to do is knowing how to. I'm having a masterclass and I'll show you exactly how to land interview with all of those top FANG company. If you're interested in my upcoming masterclass, that would be end of next week. Make sure you connect with me via LinkedIn, which is right here, because when you do so, I will send you a registration for that. Okay. The second reason is doing research on what type of coaches are you looking for. Okay, I guarantee you don't know what coaches you are looking for right now, and a lot of people are attracted to the shiny object. What is the shiny object? It's called Amazon. Yeah, it's called ex Amazon. I'm not saying this to rat myself out. Yes, I am an ex Amazonian, but you have to evaluate when I say what type of career coaches suit you. Yes, I've had a lot of successes. I've helped hundreds of people in my coaching program alone, just 2020 alone in land positions with all of whatever company they want to. Even so, guys, I'm being very genuine here. I've had 2 members who tells me, Holly, your coaching cohort is not for me because I want more intimacy and more attention from you. That's great. That's called private coaching that I am very selective in doing because I think that it's not private coaching is not made for everyone as well as group coaching, right? So that's what I mean. But you have to find the type of program and career coaches that suits you, and you not need to give up on yourself so quickly. So those 2 people out of hundreds that I have helped basically mentioned that, Holly, I didn't realize that I have to do so much work. I mean, nope, I have a full-time job. I'm a parent. This is not for me. Guess what, guys? 90% of the people in my cohort are all parents of multiple kids because when we're in our Zoom office hour, I can see the children in the background. I myself is a single parent. You not need to give any excuses, but versus you need to dive deep into figuring out, take a list, take a piece of paper and basically say, this is what I need. If you don't know what you need, that's a big problem. Okay. This is what I need. These are my target company and put 3, not 1. Okay. Not 1. You guys all know that I will never coach you in having 1 company, right? Right? I hope you get that. 3 top companies. And what have you already tried? What have you already been doing? And I want you to take your time in interviewing these coaches before jumping the gun and paying for a program or service. Because a lot of this feedback is when I say shiny object, just because they're ex Microsoft or ex Apple or ex Amazonia, what have they built? What is the result? What does the customer have to say about them? Right? So you have to do your due diligence and for crying out loud, treat yourself good. I'm very amazed that a lot of my customer have 5, 6 different coaches. And the most shocking thing for me is, are you guys ready for this? None of the coaches review their stories. None. Not a single soul. And that's why I'm so shocked. Stop wasting your money on things. Stop. Okay, take that back. Stop being so overly excited where you just join something without knowing what you're getting yourself into. make sure you guys are able to dive deep and ask the right probing question. What are the right probing questions? Just simply just say, how can you help me? Can you walk me through exactly what your services entail and make them share all of that with you, because I'm freaking transparent, people. Every single thing that I have helped my cohort, it's on my landing page. I don't even have to tell you. You can go read it, including my pricing. I have just helped so many people where it was funny because yesterday in our 2 hour group coaching session, we didn't even talk about mock interview for the first time. It was more of them expressing their gratitude and their experiences in just they literally just joined my cohort. I'm like, wow. And they feel the instant value because from the moment you join, guess what? There's instruction 1, 2, 3 to tell you exactly what to do. And you immediately going to build your brand and you can get that done in one day. Yeah. You don't have to pay someone a couple thousand for that. Right away, within 24 hours, you can have the perfect branding. That's called VIP coaching. Okay. And the biggest advice, I really want to share this with the coaches. I really shouldn't be doing this, but it's my YouTube channel. I can do whatever I want. Stop taking advantage of the vulnerable job seeker coaches, strategists, interview coaches. If you don't know how to coach, I would highly advise all of you coaches to go learn how to do it before you waste your clients' time and money. Okay? The market is bouncing back. A lot of people are very anxious right now. Rather than looking at the vulnerable stage, where they're extremely miserable or still is affected by the pandemic, which is over a year ago, try to figure a way to help these people, for crying out loud. I myself have 8 different coaches. I'm a big fan of coaches. When I hire these coaches now, I'm not going to say that all of them have worked out. Some of them have worked out amazingly well, but half of them or more do not work out for me. Okay. And that's why I'm preaching to you to the things that I'm telling you. You need to really do your due diligence. Now having to go through all these coaches, I know what to look for. Okay. I have a coach to help me get certified as a certified coach. I wanted to learn the art of coaching leadership, which yes, I have partnered with them very well in the 20 years of my career, and I work for from startup to a lot of these big tech companies. But as a coaching business, that was my first time. I'm a new business owner, and I wanted to partner with someone who's been doing it for 10 plus year, way better than I am, so I know how to coach you. I have 4 YouTube coaches. I'm sorry, I eat, sleep, YouTube. If you're still with me, you know what I'm saying, okay? I have hired 4 coaches to teach me how to walk the talk, what to say, how to present myself. You see all the light in the back, all of that? I have 4 coaches, okay? On top of all of that, I also have an online course creation coach, I have a marketing coach, and I have a business coach. And I'm looking for another coach to help me scale my business. You see where I'm going? So I'm a big fan of coaches. What I'm not a big fan of is rushing through to hire someone, because it's a waste of your time and money if you are resulting in the wrong type of partnership. A lot of you guys, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I have a waiting list of over 600 people for private coaching. If you're asking me, if you're looking and you're a coach right now, I know you're watching me. I don't just take clients because I think our clientele reflect of our ability and our credibility, and I'm all about delivering result to you. Either I'm doing this for free, pumping out content for you for free every single week, or you're joining my VIP coaching. It doesn't matter. If I'm not adding value, I ain't doing it. So that's just how it is, okay? So my final note here, why I'm having such conversation. Normally I'll put a webinar for you guys. I get it. I'll give you a quick tip right away. So today, because I've spent 2 hours in talking to 15 people in my group coaching cohort, and 2 of them were about to drop tears to me, where I have to say, listen, you're here now, okay? And even so, you're not paying an arm and a leg to be here. Let's just fix your branding, because what you're telling me in your story makes no sense. Whatever you learned in the past, just shut the door and be fresh. Okay. Take your time to find the right career coach that meets your needs. Take your sweet time and ask the right question. Professional job seekers, don't be lazy. Do your due diligence. Okay. There are some great people out there, and make sure you do your part. Now I'm ready to look at all Q&A and see who are all here. By the way, for those who are still watching right now, if you're enjoying my content, I love the thumbs up in the video. I also love thumbs up emoji. I'm a coffee holic. I love my caffeine. This is my 3rd cup of the day. Look at this super size 16 ounce here. You see where I'm going? YouTube love engagement. And let's go with Q&A. Hello, hello, everybody. Let's go from top down, okay? Let's go. And Steven, welcome to the community, Steven. Thank you for being part of my YouTube community and supporting my work. Hello, ma'am. How I'm doing great, Nataje. Thank you for your patience and being here. Nataje says, I got a job description this Monday. Is DMS cloud support role? What can I expect in loop interview from AWS? If you are number one, the first thing is it doesn't matter your position title, it doesn't matter your level. If you haven't seen my Amazon Leadership Principle questions and answers playlist, it's just one playlist, just one. You have to watch that. There's 10 video. Out of those 10 video, there's a number of template teaching you how to create your story. Okay. I just talked about do not feeling like you are overly excited in rushing through your interview until you create those stories. That's how you're going to prepare. Role and level does not matter. You need to be able to articulate with verbal communication style, but I'm going to help you with your written communication by the template that I use. Now, one may say, Holly, is it the star format? You know, here's another thing. Maybe I should talk about this in the first 10 minutes as well. When I ask my customers, you know, you all mentioned that after working with me for a week in my VIP coaching, you went from being completely lost and failed 5 times Amazon interview from perfect story. Now looking back, you understood why you have failed your story. It's because of the Holly Lee Star template. Let's just pause for a second. It is not my template. It is not. I did not create it, the STAR method. But what I've done is I took what is the meaning of the STAR method, which is what are you trying to tell your audience, the interviewer, quickly? Okay. I did invent a simplistic style where you're just going to get straight to the point in 30 to 45 seconds. That's what I've invented. If you Google it somewhere online, people don't really say anything about the time frame. They teach you what everyone talk about, the same shit. Yes, the same shit. I say shit because the same thing, and that's why a lot of the people are bombing their interview. In my case, I care more about you acing your interview, so I'm just going to give you every single thing like I would in teaching in my pay you VIP program. You need to get to the point. The reason why you're not making it through or feeling really anxious, it's one, you need at least 20 stories. I already gave you the 20 question. It's right inside the playlist I've just mentioned. Scroll up 3 minutes, okay? On top of that, I'm also giving you a template. All you have to do is follow. I have the entire library. I don't care if you're interviewing at Amazon or you're interviewing at startup. If you follow, if you notice that in my coaching, I don't talk about Amazon leadership principle day in and out. I focus on the actual question because professional at the end of the day, if you're able to answer intelligently to the point of the problem that you're trying to solve, like your business impact, for example, guess what? You're going to hit the leadership principle about 80 to 100% of the time. You like that? I'm pretty sure you like that, okay? So that's why you need to know the leadership principle. If you're interviewing at Amazon, if you're interviewing at other company, you need to know what their philosophy are. Everybody have this thing called customer-centric, moving fast. You see that? They're all the same, right? You need to know that. When you know that and the way how you articulate your story, you don't throw their LPs or their core value in front of, please don't do that. A lot of you guys do that, okay? In those playlists, I'm also teaching you guys what not to say. For example, we. Don't we. When you keep on weing, there ain't nothing that the interviewer know what you have done. It's we have done, okay? So I talk about a lot of the stuff. There isn't a question that you're going to ask me or you're about to ask me that I don't have a video already made for you, okay? So go check out that playlist. And if you look carefully in the job description, it will tell you exactly what technical domain you need. Domain, okay? The odds are, I'm assuming that in your credential, Nataraj, you come from some type of networking infrastructure background or cloud, okay? Let me know how that goes. Marley, hello, Mari Parles. How are you, Marley? Hi, Holly. I have an interview scheduled this Thursday for a role, Senior Program Manager Marketplace out of the country. Oh, they actually have a team called Out of the Country Business. Okay, that's cool. I'm working on my storytelling, applying Amazon leadership principle. That's good. That's good, but I'm probably the only career coach who's going to tell you this right now. The only one. No one else is going to tell you this. When you create your story, yes, you need to know the leadership principle, but focus on the actual question. Focus on the actual question, okay? And if you look at the template that I have for you, when I say template, I mean all the questions. I'm only going to have about 17, 20 questions because I don't want to waste your time with 30, 40 questions. You're going to waste your time. At the end of the day, a lot of the interview questions are all very correlating each other, which means they're very, very similar. Okay? So pay attention to the template questions that I have for you inside my questions and answer playlist. And if you are enjoying this type of content, every Tuesday is live coaching where I answer all of your questions. Every Friday, it's where I will review your story for free as a member. All right? You voted? You voted. How are you? You voted. New folks. I love it. Yuvata says, I just had my initial call with a recruiter for a corporate counsel role. Oh, another corporate counsel. Any thoughts on the LP tested? The phone interview is next week, and I'm only just started to prep. If your phone interview is next week, you need to move your interview at the bare minimum 1 month, my friend. Amazon has the most leadership principle. And if you think that you're going to get ready within a week or so, it's not going to happen. I'm not saying this to be negative. I'm a realist. You see, I am a realist, as real as it could get. In general, a lot of the folks who are even coming and working with me to land a job offer, in average, it takes them 2.5 to 3 months. That is working with me in the speed of lightning. Okay? And for those who are able to land a job within a month in working with me, are those who already have their story, already have been prepping for about 3 months to 6 months and have already failed their interview. And when they come to me, I just have to improve their story by reviewing all of them and also working on their mock interview or communication skills. That is a skill that I'm honing in. Until you get to that point, 1 week is not enough time. Okay? 1 week is not. I will leave that decision to you. You know, if you missed the first 15 seconds of this live stream, don't be overly excited because you land an interview of any role. It doesn't even matter at these FANG companies because those roles, they ain't going anywhere. If you decline or cancel your interview, guess what? You'll be in the radar. You'll be in the recruiter, what is called hot lead. Basically, someone who rejected their phone interview or rejected them, and they will always reach out to you. In fact, they'll reach out to you every 2 weeks to every month. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. So many of you guys are afraid that the Amazon position will go away. The Facebook role will close. The Google position will no longer be there. Don't do that to yourself. It's not going anywhere. Okay? And if you haven't heard, there's 9.3 million job openings right now as we speak. Yes, 9.3. That's just in the US alone. Okay? Please prepped. Gulzi? Hey, Gulzi. Gulzi says, I sent you a message over LinkedIn yesterday. Unfortunately, I didn't make it to the on-site, but the hiring manager got in touch to say she was very impressed with my answer. Congratulations. They're looking for some more IT knowledge, even though it was last mile. Okay. This is interesting. So they want you to have, basically what they're trying to say, technical exposure to the environment for logistic account manager. But she told me I aced all the leadership principle. Thank you so much for your coaching. That's wonderful. Congratulations. That's a big accomplishment. That is true. There's a lot of these even non-tech positions such as program manager, account manager, sales position even. If you're in a sales role for AWS, for example, you need to know the foundation of the cloud infrastructure. Sorry, something's in my eyes. If you're an account manager, you need to know the technical environment of that area. Just like how when you are in just retail, online retail, you better know what e-commerce space is and the technologies behind it. You don't need to know how to do it, but you need to have a well-rounded, position, well-rounded knowledge. As an account manager, how are you supposed to have conversation with your internal stakeholder, internal or external customers, if you're not exposed to those environment? That's what Amazon is trying to tell you, okay? It's all right. If you do well in the behavioral question, That's actually the hardest part. If you take a look at the technical environment, and I hope at the end of your interview for the interviewer, you ask them those type of questions. For example, what are the type of technical environment are for this position? Okay. For all of you guys who are in my YouTube community as a paid member, the link is in the chat right now. There is a template, questions to ask the interviewer. Okay. It's molding to your position. It's forcing you to think really big so that you know exactly what to expect for your interview. And you already have a failed interview. Don't worry. You're going to be okay. Tomorrow or today is another day. We move forward together and you will eventually get your feet back in the door again. Okay. A lot of my customer, it's very rare for me to work with someone who haven't had a failed Amazon interview. Right. And if I'm able to put their foot back into the door, even with 6 failed interview from a level 5 to Amazonian right now for nearly a year now, no names, and also a level up in tech, you could do it. It takes time, guys. I don't know. I'm trying to tell you all to have patience with yourself. If you're trying to rush things through, it's easier. Let me put it this way. It's easier to train for a marathon, a full marathon, than to get a job at Amazon or any of these FANG companies. Why? Because when it comes to training for a marathon, you have to train your body, right? You mentally, yeah, it works almost right away when you're training for a marathon. You just have to pick up the momentum and probably go run 3 times, 4 times a week, but you see the momentum right away. But when it comes to prepping for a job interview, you literally have to take your sweet time. You have to memorize your story. The important part, not everything in your story. You have to remember everything that you've done. You have to think about relevancy. You see where I'm going here? That's why it takes months of practice. Do you hear what I'm saying? Please let me know in the comment below that you agree with me and say, yes, I hear you, Holly. It is true. If you are thinking that you can go save the world within a week, it ain't going to happen unless you have already been prepped for a really long time. And in your gut, you know you're almost there. I don't have to tell you. Okay? Goosey, goosey, goose. I interview in Italy. All right. At the first screening, I was asked to describe a time when I own a project from start to finish. Plus, why did you choose Amazon? That's why Amazon. This comes out a lot. I know. I tell you guys. I tell you. For all you community member inside the community tab, I have a video that's called Why Do You Want to Work for These FANG Companies? In fact, if you haven't already connected with me on LinkedIn, I made a post literally yesterday. How convenient is that for you guys? I talk about why are you interested in Amazon, in Google, in Netflix, in any of these companies, right? Because you need to figure out what your added value is, and you don't want to tell them that they are the biggest company in the world because no one wants to hear it, because everybody says the same thing. You need to figure out how you differentiate yourself from all the candidates, people. Okay? All the candidates. So check out the video. And when you do, there's literally step by step telling you how to create your Why Amazon. Why Amazon? Hey, by the way, guys, I'm doing a better job in social media because you see, I'm an introvert. I really don't like social at all. I love video though. I love coaching, even YouTube. It took me about 2 years and I'm now finally getting a little bit more comfortable. But as I mentioned earlier, I have 8 coaches and half of my coaches are telling me to brand myself a little bit better on Instagram. So if we're not connected on Instagram, my handle on Instagram is hollylee.co. Okay. So what that means is that once a week or twice a week, I will have different tips to help you. Not everyone likes video. Some people like to read or photo or image. So I'm trying to hang out with you in your favorite platform. Let me know, where's your favorite platform in the chat below? Where do you want to get free coaching advice and tips? Is it LinkedIn? Is it YouTube? Or is it Instagram or Facebook? Let me know in the bottom. Okay. James. Hello, James. Constant. How are you, Constant? KP Rest. Holly, I was offered a lower position after the whole interview process and declined. First of all, KP, congratulations for getting a job offer at Amazon. Amazon likes to evaluate people with lower position. Is very common. It's not just Amazon, it's a lot of the company. The bar at Amazon is very high when it comes to productivity and the role itself, okay? If you miss my, again, why Amazon video and the culture at Amazon, Go check that out, guys. Especially my onboarding, my first 30, 60, 90 days. I was so raw in that. In my first 30 days, I built the entire event recruiting for the entire year. My first 30 days, I've met with 14 different business, basically 14 different startup within Amazon and created a plan for the entire year. In my first 30 day, where in other company, you should be onboarding. There's no such thing as onboarding at Amazon. A lot of my clients who are now Amazonian are saying the exact same thing, but they're enjoying it because the Amazon culture is not a fit for just anyone. Okay. And I'm being very honest here. At the time, it was a great fit for me. Now, where I am in my life, no, it ain't the right fit for me anymore because now all I want to do is coach you guys. Okay. Thank you. I have my why answer down, but need zero in on the main L piece. Hungry for employment. How are you, my friend? Long time hungry. Hungry Aaron. How are you? Jaya, how are you, Jaya? The, Jose, thank you, Jose. Good to see you again. Fafe, you're new. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Fafe. Fafe, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm going to call you FG. I'm so glad I found your channel. You're honestly the best career coach I have come across. Star all the way. Yes, star. Did someone say star? By the way, if you missed this is a very important live stream in the first 15 minutes. I know a lot of you guys just joined late. I talk a lot about my members who came to me who have worked with other ex-Amazonian career coaches where they talk about the STAR method very general, but they don't dive deep. Okay, that's a lot of feedback I have from my cohort where, when I'm reviewing your story, show up, by the way, show up to the Friday session. I'll show you exactly how I do it. If you're going to pay for a service, that is $399 a month, by the way, not $3,000 a month. And not even reviewing your story. I'm just saying it like it is, okay? Let's not sugarcoat here. Let's call BS like BS. If you're going to work with a coach, if you're going to pay for a coach to help you with your STAR story, they better be reviewing your story, okay? I'm saying that because there's different coaches for different things. That's why when I hire 8 different coaches, each one of them are very particular with where I am with my business, okay? Like my YouTube coaches did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal. They know who they are. I call them out pretty often on my LinkedIn page and also my private Facebook page. Don't connect with me on Facebook. It's for friends and family only, and those I truly have meaningful connection for my private Facebook group. And we just maintain really good friendship after working with each other for a while, okay? Find a coach that suits you. I'm so passionate about the STAR method, guys. I have merchandise, okay? I have a face mask, a mug, and also a thermal, which is completely sold out, by the way. It says Eat, Sleep, STAR. I don't care how other people interpret the STAR method. I interpret the STAR method even to 5 sentences. You're going to ace the job, and I will train you how to do so. FG, I'm going to go FG. Thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you. Let me know how everything goes. And if you've already landed a job offer, make sure we're connected on LinkedIn, okay? Jaya, I'm new. I'm a new grad and is preparing for my data scientist. Yes, I feel that all my background are school project. That's okay. That's okay if you are. Too straightforward and seems no follow-up for the interviewer. Need suggestion for a new grad. You know what? This may come in surprise for you. Jaya, can I call Jaya? Jaya. I help a lot of people land a job as a new grad or even an intern just simply watching every single one of my video. Until you have watched every single one of my video and tell me that you are lost, then we can have a real conversation. Because every single thing, rather than me repeating myself in this live coaching, it's all inside the video. First, you need to know your brand. When you create your resume, okay, let's start with step 1. When you create your resume, you need to figure out what are you building in your academia background? What are you building? How are you demonstrating thinking big and diving deep? What problem are you solving for in what you're building? For instance, I gave this example about a month ago. One of the new grad, I was able to help as ST1 with a machine learning and AI background. She built a tool to help doctors measurement, to figure out measurement In return, the doctor will know where to prescribe medication to like surgery, for example. So they know exactly where to hone into. Okay, where the gap is in the data. If you're able to build some, I'm not saying go that far, but when she came to me, she was heartbroken and torn because she couldn't pass a single interview with any of these FANG company. I'm telling you guys this right now. We all are unique individual and we all have our story. Let's say this together, guys. Let's do this together. We are all very unique. When you think you don't have relevant story, you do. Let me tell you why. I'm so confident to tell you you have relevant story. If you don't have relevant story, Amazon will not be reaching out to you for an interview. Right? So they're seeing something in your background. If you're a student, they're seeing something in the degree that you're going after and your concentration. You need to fix your branding, my friend, before you can go to storytelling. Okay. If you're part of my community, I have this right here. It's branding. The branding is 50% discount. It is your resume, and the LinkedIn part is free. It helps you, it teaches you every single pieces on how you create your resume. Please follow instruction, for crying out loud. Please do. It also provides me reviewing. That's right, reviewing your resume and your LinkedIn profile. That's an additional service for free. You don't have to pay a coach a couple $1,000s to do it. I'll do it for you in my private Facebook group. Okay? So that is for you. I just gave you a solution, Gia. You just got to do it. Okay. Hello, Dee. First time in your live show. Welcome, Dee, to the community. Thank you for being here. Mabel. Hey, Mabel. I will be attending the phone screen for Continuous Improvement Manager. What questions can I expect? Everything that I just talked about, Mabel. The type of behavioral questions at Amazon are all the same, my friend. All the same. Don't be frantic because you're a data scientist or you're a VP and they're all the same. They're all the same. I can ask you one question and figure out what level you're in and if you're a good fit. Very simple. What is the most difficult problem that you've ever have to solve? That's it. One question. Out of that one question, I can ask you 4 to 5 probing questions and I'm done. Okay? The whole interview process, even though they say 45 minutes to an hour, but guess what? The first 5-10 minutes is warm-up questions, right? And then you go into the actual questions. The interviewer asks you one question, you respond in less than a minute. But hold on for a second, there's small talk in between. Don't forget the small talk. And then the interviewer will come up with probing questions, okay? Through each probing question, there could be mini categories of probing questions on top of the probing questions. So when you guys are so fixated on just the LP, it's not really doing you justice. You need more than just the LP. It's good to know the leadership principle, but you need to move forward on the actual question. I know that 90% of you are not going to listen to what I'm saying, but that 10% that you are listening right now, congratulations, you're going to land an offer with Amazon. If you're able to do that, you will have multiple offer everywhere else. Okay? There's a lot of people that's watching right now with 34 thumbs up. If you're truly new to my channel, do not forget to subscribe. YouTube is no longer sending you notification when I live stream. When you do that, if you haven't, download my template. It's very simple. My template is just hollylee.co. Download. If you go to download, you will see my free star template. In full disclosure, I will send you a weekly reminder when I have free things like this. Okay? All right, we are done with that. Joshua, third round panel, I've been asked for total compensation, which I'm quite hesitant to provide prior to an offer. How do I communicate back to them? Joshua and everyone else, compensation is a big deal, okay? I literally talk about this in last week's live stream. Make sure you go to the most recent video. I also have a whole playlist. It's about 8 to 10 minutes long to tell you where to research. One, you need to know the market data research for the position where you will be locating at. Okay, not where you live. Where are you going to work at? What is your worth? I talk about 3 resources for you to do that. Secondly, simply respond to the recruiter and say, I would love to work for a company such as Amazon. If you don't mind, I'd like to spend this time in passing the Amazon hiring bar and not focus on compensation at this time. Period. That's it. That's it. No more talking, okay? Also, you don't have to disclose any confidential information if you don't want to anyway. I hope that makes sense to you. Alrighty. Alrighty, Joshua. D, project manager with a startup. D is interviewing with a project manager with a startup in DC. Has grown tremendously in the last 2 years. My first interview is CEO and VP. What should I expect? Well, you suspect the number one thing is what is the most important things that you've ever built or deliver? The most important thing. As a VP and CEO, I care about that. Also, your role and responsibility. Every single thing that you're doing needs to be higher scope. When I say large scope and scale, you guys, you just need to go watch my Amazon Leadership Principle questions and answer. It's not really talking only about the LP, it's talking about the storytelling. Okay. If you look at my template, I'm structuring your story. If anyone in here thinks that I'm an Amazon interview coach, you are wrong. I'm not an interview coach, I'm a career coach. I'm a career and life coach. That's a big difference. Okay. I don't coach you in one company. I first need you to figure out what on earth you're good at. How do you get there to immediately regain your confidence and teach you all the skills to brand yourself before you even create your story. That's a true career coach. All right? Please do not call me an Amazon interview coach or interview coach. It's like comparing apples and oranges. I am not one of those. All right? You need to really figure out what have you built? How have you scaled? And how do you save the company money, by the way? You're interviewing with VP and CEO because I want to know what is the largest amount of revenue you were able to help your customer or your company save. You better be able to answer that, D. Good luck, my friend. Freya, I completed the phone interview with the team hiring manager last week, and he said I will be scheduled for the loop interview by the recruiter. Should I hear back on the same day or the next day? I have no idea. I'm not the recruiter. It really depends on how good your recruiter is. Okay. I even emailed the recruiter, but no responses. I do not know what to expect. I will follow up with the recruiter every 2 business days. If you haven't already, I would try to send a LinkedIn to the hiring manager and the recruiter and keep in touch with them. Thank you so much for the coffee. Yes, coffee. It's all about the coffee, people. All about the coffee. Red Riding Hood, how are you? I heard from the head of department there will be a huge headcount added as part of the team expansion. So does Google make existing consulting to FTE along with the new FTE recruits? Yes, absolutely. How Google work is that just like any company, right? You guys know that this right here, in-house career life coaching with Holly Lee is not just for one specific company because the feedback I'm giving you guys are all the same with all the company. If you put yourself in a hiring authority perspective, if you have a headcount to hire a full-time employee, of course you're going to look at the current contractor or consultant, right? One, they're already in the company, they know the culture. Two, they're already doing the job, right? And three, all you have to do is get feedback from the current team, the current hiring leader, and you already have there, boom, backdoor the person. Background check is already done. Okay. So absolutely when they have headcount, they wanted to evaluate current consultation first before. If you're a contractor in any of these FANG companies, I would highly encourage you to continue building relationship with your own team and also with team outside of that. Okay. Because when time comes from evaluation, I know how Google works, same thing as Amazon and Facebook and other top players. You want other folks outside of your own team, okay, that you have either partnered with cross functionally or have engaged in some type of project where you have helped them. And if you don't have those experiences, I would highly encourage you, Red Riding Hood, to do that. That way you are trying to gain trust. You're trying to earn trust with people outside of your bubble. And that comes in a really long way when it comes to full time. It's really, really hard to get full time at Google. I'm not really sure why. It's really hard. Like in the recruiting world, for example, everybody started full time. I was full time for the first 6 months, and I got converted to FTC. FTC is full time contract. I have no idea what that means. Basically, you get the perks, you get the benefit, you get the healthcare. The only thing we don't get are the equity. A lot of these company who are multi gazillion billion dollar, they're very, very frugal when it comes to equity. Okay. And then after 6+ months or so, then you get converted into full time. I don't know why these companies make you jump through so many loops. Hey, I guess when you have a lot of great processes in place, and let's be honest, they have a lot of revenue and they have a lot of time as well, and they have a lot of human doing the job. So there's no rush for them to convert you. This is what I mean. If you want to stay ahead of the game, you need a lot of the people that are stronger than you in your industry, your positions within the organization you're working with, in this case, Google specifically, to give you a thumbs up. Okay, because the time comes when you have a conversation with your hiring manager. You want to talk about, you're doing business with Joe Schmo in team, ABC, fiber optic, networking, GMAP, so on and so forth. And you want your manager to say, wow, you took the initiative to go through all of that. You actually helped them put a process together for the ATS system that has nothing to do with your role. That's awesome. I'm going to make you full time. And that, my friend, is how you get full time at these big FANG companies. Okay. Oh, O'Malley. I'm gonna call you Omowami. I'm calling you Oo. Okay. I'm good. Wumi, because she knows that I would have a hard time pronouncing her name. Thank you very much for correcting me. Wumi says, I'm first year MBA student. I want to ask what your advice is for an internship in Pathways operation manager role. Kindly direct. I'm new here. That's awesome. Thank you for coming in here and asking these questions. Um, I think it's excellent when you are an MBA student or just get even a bachelor's degree, you're highly qualified for all of these companies because they evaluate academic, what am I saying? Academia background very carefully, okay? I think it's an excellent way in as an operation manager. I believe the qualification is a master's degree. Unfortunately, I have never recruited new grad or intern or even junior level position. But when you have your degree, I believe you're automatically level 6. Don't correct me. I could be wrong. I see a lot of level 6, level 5, 6, but more so level 6 with a master degree because Amazon is giving you credit that you have a lot of academia background. Okay. So the type of questions is really, really similar. It's more so what you have learned the time that you're studying in school. Okay. So, and if you have a bachelor's degree of any kind, then it would be an area manager. Okay. But if you have a master degree, it would be operational manager. So the corporate ladder is, FC associates, and then they want to be area manager and operation managers, so on and so forth, and then site or facility manager, or I'm sorry, site managers, so on and so forth. Okay, I hope that answers your question. And they have an entire recruiting team for that as well. Good for you. Going back to get your master. Follow your dream, girl. Follow your dream. One tip, one hand. I follow your I'm sorry. I need a moment. I need some coffee. Ah. All right, a girl needs some coffee. Can a girl please get some coffee emoji in the live chat, please? Alrighty. Purple Sparkle, how are you, Purple? Always lovely to see you, everyone. Say hello to Purple. Louise, hello, Holly. I have a round interview on Thursday. He told me to leave the final minutes of each interview to ask questions. First of all, you don't purposely leave minutes at the to ask questions. You should always come with 3 questions to ask every single interviewer, at least 2 to 3 questions. What's your opinion regarding this, including the BR? Louise, if you have not already, make sure that you are part of my community member. I'm looking on the corner over here to see if you are part of my community member. Elizabeth, thank you so much for the super chat, girl. Thank you so much for $10 super chat. You very, very welcome. I don't know why I wanted to do that accent. I'm just in the mood. Louise, if you haven't already, as a paid community member, with the link in the live chat, there's actually a template for you to ask the bar racer, your peer, the hiring manager, so on and so forth. Again, I'm going to say this 10 more times. Do not focus a lot of your energy on just the bar racer, guys. It's just an interviewer. It's just an interviewer, okay? That's it. Just like any other interviewer who doesn't belong in the team that you're interviewing with. That's the perspective of the bar racer, is to facilitate the hiring loop during the debrief, making sure that the hiring managers or them bringing in new folks that are meeting above 50% bar at Amazon. That is it. Okay? I would advise for you to do so. A lot of this mumbo jumbo, let's just move on and make sure you're focusing on the actual interviewed question, my friend. Okay? Thank you so much for the super chat, Elizabeth. Elizabeth says, good afternoon to you. I wanted to stop by and say a good month of watching. Oh, yeah, a good month watching you and your videos paid off. Oh, you were off our position. Hell yeah. Yay, yay, yay. Good job. Waiting on all follow-up emails. Thank you for all you do. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. By the way, Elizabeth, I'm not saying this to demonstrate any kind of biases, but the folks who are able to land job offer purely just off of my YouTube channel, are you guys ready for this? 75% of those are women. 75% are women. Okay? Elizabeth, let's make sure that we are connected on LinkedIn, because I do want it to send you my private Facebook group for every single person who looked at my content or have coached by me, either live stream or in my cohort. It is very Amazon heavy. It's not for Amazon, but it's 99% Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and startup as well. You're welcome to join the community should you choose, okay? Thank you so much for coming by. It truly motivates everyone when they see job announcement like that. Okay? Joshua, what percentage of people make it to offer on-site interview? The question is very, very vague. I would not be able to answer that because every hiring team is different. Okay? That's why I said that. For me, generally my bar is extremely high. For those of you who are in my cohort, you know my bar is higher than the bar raiser, because I'm very meticulous in the way I coach, and also I'm very structured. I'm also a perfectionist. Okay? Which means that if I am going to, the way how I taught my team is, number one, to not spam the candidate. You guys, if I'm on the phone to do recruiter prep call, every 1 out of 3, I know that one is going to result in a job offer. And that's how I was able to work backward with my 3-to-1 ratio. And I'm a big fan of that, because without matrix and ratio, how the hell are you supposed to know what throw darts, candidates, and hopefully something stick? A lot of recruiter operates that way. Majority of recruiters operate that way. Okay. So I focus on quality over quantity. So with that questions, I can't give you a straight answer. For me, I would say every 10 on-site, at least 4 of them are resulting in offer. That's very, very high. Normally it takes hundreds to close one rec. I don't believe in that, because that's a waste of freaking time. I just do not operate that way. Okay. So don't focus on number and ratio, on how many phones, none of that. Focus on you. You welcome, Guzi. Wumi, yes. Holly, I hear you. Yes. Constance says, I hear you, Holly. Yes. Hear me, Nova, hear me. Comment, guys, we need only 25. I know, there's 40 plus of some odd people watching, and the girl only has 23 thumbs up. If you're sitting in the back, you're really shy, and you forgot to change or create an email alias where you don't have to use your real name, by the way, feel free to still subscribe to my channel and give a girl a thumbs up. When you do that as I'm live streaming, it's really getting in a lot of people who are struggling like you to be attracted to my free content. Did I mention free content? Alrighty, I think we're clear. Bella, hello, Bella. Catherine, hey, Catherine. Welcome, Catherine, as a new YouTube member. Johnny, how are you? Nova, can you explain the difference between 6 and 7 at AWS? Well, AWS what? Because every position is very different. We talk about tech, non-tech. Guys, if you're going to ask me a question, please be as specific as you can possibly humanly be. I'm a very specific kind of girl. Okay. A level 7, and are we talking about people manager or IC? I don't like anything vague. So the more specific you can give me, the better my answer will help you be. Okay. 6 or 7, the common theme is that you have to be demonstrating global experiences, global scales, global. When I say global, I meant being able to affect your customers or building team, handling team across the world. That's a level 6. The difference between the two is how many projects or product that you are able to launch and how many people are on your team if you are people managers. A level 6, for example, have anywhere between 15 to even 20 direct reports versus level 7 can have up to about 50. Yes, I said 50 at like an Amazon or even other thing company as well. So you could imagine when it comes to an individual computer, what am I saying? Individual contributor, Holly, say contributor. English is my fourth language, by the way. If you think that your communication is not going to get you a job in all those big thing company, guess what? I work for Amazon, Google, Microsoft. I have partner at Siemens Services, Nokia even. I can tell you, your communication skill is not the issue. It's your storytelling. All right. I just have to get that out. It's it's funny because in my cohort, it's anywhere between 95% to 100% diversity. Diversity meaning that you are not born and raised in the US. And everyone seems to think that their communication is a reason why they didn't get the level that they want. Even if they're director, they would get offered as a level 6 because you need to be able to articulate very, very well. Amazon Spar to make it to a level 7, you don't have to be perfect. Yes, you can have an accent, but you cannot be long winded. You cannot be long winded at all whatsoever. You need to be so clear in the example on how you deliver, meet your deliverable in scaling and scoping across the world, and how quickly can you get there. Okay. And who are you taking with you on the win? Very, very, very clearly. Okay. Let me do it here. All right. Let me know if that have answered your question, Nova. The question is very vague. I don't even know what position you're interviewing for and nothing about you as well. So that's the best I could do. Okay. Bella, I was declined the role for Amazon, but I appreciate all your advice, Holly. Oh, thank you for being part of my community member. I used to know my other interview with Tesla and PayPal. Yay! Hell yeah! Oh, I'm so happy for you. So happy. Guys, I don't care what anyone have to time. It never fails. Your situation, problem you're solving for, quickly get there. How you do it and your added value every single time and do it under 1 minute. That is the trick. That is, it's not the top secret. I'm going to tell you. I'm like, shh. No, it's old news. It's not a big deal. You guys just got to do the work. I'm so happy for you, Bella. So happy. Looking forward to adding you into my Facebook private group. If you haven't already, please remind me to send you that link and reach out to me via LinkedIn right here. Okay? Thank you so much. And please continue coming into my live stream because once you guys accepted a job offer and you start going away, I feel very lonely because there are times that I have up to 165 people who watches every single one of my live stream, and literally every single week, twice a week, there's 10 to 15 people. 10 to 15 people landed a job offer coming in here, and they all landed job offer, and they will start disappearing. It makes me very sad and lonely. So please do come back once in a while and say hi to the community member, okay? Tracy says, what if you don't have detailed matrix for your story? My friend, if you don't have data in solving a problem, then you're not in a good shoe. Okay. When you say no, don't have detail matrix, what do you mean by that? How do you solve the problem backward? How? What is your how? Okay. Even if you don't have the number, where are you getting the information from in solving the issues? Like I've mentioned, all of you think you don't have the story, and I would love the opportunity to prove you wrong. Show up and give me an example of your story in my Friday VIP coaching, which is right here. This is where I review all of the community's stories. by clicking the giant join button in the live chat on the very top. Okay? Alrighty. Yes, Ab. Star, 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 star. It's star all day long, people. I don't care who makes fun of Star. I don't care who pokes fun of Star. I don't care who makes fun of me talking about Star. It's all about the Star. Star provides clarity to the point of what you have actually built, launched, and scaled, people. Okay? Everybody repeat after me. Built, launch, and scale. What exactly have you scaled? Think about that for a moment. Oh, this is a good question. Nova says, what does it mean to focus on the question and not the leadership principle? Listen, I'm not saying don't focus on the leadership principle at all. By the way, even with my Star Interview Accelerator, which is a digital course for those who couldn't afford my coaching or in my cohort, this is do it yourself. And a lot of people land a job offer. You hear a lot of job offer in here. That's what instruction. And you create your story to a T. What in that alone, I don't teach you step by step with the leadership principle. Full disclosure. Oh my God. I don't waste your time on focusing on just a leadership principle. I am making it very, very, very vaguely and very quickly what the LPs are, but I spend 100% of my time like this, guys. Boom. What on earth are the most commonly asked interview questions? How are you going to create your story? How, guys? People, the coaches are not talking about the how, and I want you guys to learn the how. You don't have to work with me. A lot of this are free, by the way, in the content. But to answer your question, this is what I mean, Nova. Don't focus your energy on just the LP and you're wasting a lot of the valuable hours in doing that. Just look at the freaking question. The question comes with an answer for you. If your answer is legit with a great business impact, you're going to hit the LP 80 to 100% of the time. Can you please repeat after me? Focus on the question. Focus on the question, but you need to know the LPs. Okay? You need to know the LP. Don't just focus on the LP. Remember, my goal is to not get you a job in just Amazon. If you missed what Bella just said, Bella, my friend, if you're still here, Bella didn't make it through the Amazon loop, but my teaching has helped her land a job at Tesla and PayPal. Do you hear that? You hear that pretty clearly in this live stream alone. Okay? And there's a lot of them. And Tesla, which I'm very surprised that Tesla is not a FANG company because Tesla's bar is very high and the work culture is very similar to Amazon from what I've heard. What are your thoughts on cold email? Well, it depends. The question is very vague. Who are you emailing? Let me ask you back these questions. Who are you emailing and what is your strategies? Nakilish. Hey, Nakilish. Good to see you here. I am due to have my interview with the Amazon hiring manager for the senior program manager role in Amazon Air. Could you tell me what kind of question that will be asked? That's every single questions in my Amazon Leadership Principle questions and answer, my friend. All the questions are already in that playlist, plus an example of how you create your story. Okay? You just have to follow the instructions. App says, I have a full loop schedule for this week for a program manager. Can I repeat my story? You never, ever repeat any story. You could recycle the situation of the content of your story, like your end result, but you never repeat the same story. That tells me that you haven't watched a single one of my video because that's all I talk about. That's literally all I talk about. Do not repeat your story. The playlist that I just mentioned, it's gold, people, because everyone who landed a job offer, we'll talk about thousands of YouTubers who follow me. YouTuber, what am I saying? Thousands of YouTube community who are my subscriber, which is over 21,000. Thank you, by the way. Thank you in helping me reach over 21,000. My goal was just 1,000 loyal follower. Thank you so much, okay? For a lot of that, yeah, quite a number of thousand. When I say 600, I'm not really doing the math, but when I start doing the math, the number just keeps on increasing because you guys have to understand when I live stream, a lot of people in Singapore, in India, in Europe, they can't make it to my live stream. which I'm more of a night owl anyway, and I would love to stream in the late evening for all of those in East Asia, especially in China, for example. I think like 6 p.m., it's like 8, 9 a.m. their time. I'm really trying, but it's really hard being a single parent to a toddler. Okay. And that reminds me, if you are giving all kinds of excuses in the book, by the way, I have a kid, I can, no, no. In my VIP coaching, 90% of those are parents. And I love it because there are times that you see their children in the back wanting to say hi to the camera, and we're all in this together. Okay. Also, there's a lot of single parents as well. There's absolutely no excuses. One, you all need the patient with yourself and allowing you guys time to prep. All right. Bella and a lot of the people mentioned that it takes them 1 month, and a lot of these folks are watching every single one of my videos. Okay. And they're able to land job with top players, guys. You don't even have to pay for it. Did I mention it's free? I'm sorry. Let me get closer to the mic. It's free, people. Why aren't you doing it? What are you waiting on? I'm confused. I'm so confused. And when you reach out to me that you can't afford to be in my group coaching cohort, which it's very it is a master class to get you from everything within 1 month, when I have free content for you that you're not even following. Just to let you all know, with every single live stream, when I'm done with you all, I have to go back and put a timestamp in it for you. And guess what? That took 2 hours out of my time on top of streaming for additional 2 hour. If I'm able to show you all this level of care, why aren't you taking care of yourself better? I'm very confused. I want someone to help me out here. And yes, I am yelling at my audience. Sometimes I feel like you all need to be yelled at, okay? Um, AB Singh says, do my phone interview performance consider the final round? All of your interview consider the final round decision because it's an interview process, my friend. You're welcome, Wumi. I hope I was able to answer all your questions. Thank you so much for the coffee. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry. I just need a moment with my coffee right here because I'm a girl who really appreciate coffee. I wish I could make this bigger. Let me see. Is there a way? Hang on. Yeah, I can. I can. I just don't want to. Thank you, ladies, for the coffee. Talking about coffee, I have one of the member who sent me an Italian coffee in my PO box, and I'm so excited to try. I am going to do that in the Friday live stream. I will give you a review in the first 30 seconds of what I think about your coffee because I am truly a coffee holic. Okay, aside from being a career coach. Faith says, I skip your questions. What question is that, Faye? When you guys are writing a questions, you guys, if you want me to cater to your questions right away, you could either A, super chat, or you have to become a member. As you can see, a lot of these questions are coming in really quickly. So if you are asking a questions and you pause for 5 minutes and you ask again, I'm going to skip a lot of that because it's in the order that it goes. Okay? And if I have skipped it, please do it again, and I'll make sure to cater to you before the live stream is over. Okay? Thank you so much for the star. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's carry on and pick on someone new. I want to pick on someone new. One tip, one hand says, you skip my questions. One tip, one hand, I did not skip your questions. I talk about L6 and L7. Rather, you skip my comment. I actually got selected for an L6 tech role. Still, thanks leaving the stream. Good luck to you. One tip, one hand. Again, if you guys want me to ask questions right away, you could either A, become a member because I do go to member first. And secondly, and the link is in the live chat, is super chat. Okay, that's how it works here. At one point, there's a lot of people asking questions, and please be patient with me and yourself as well. I can't get to you if you keep on hitting enter in every single one of your questions. And some of you are putting 5 at the same time. I would advise for you to not do that because everyone else should have a turn. Okay? Be patient. I don't know why you guys are so impatient, and this is a free service to you. Right? Punet, good to see you, Punet. Couldn't join. Oh no, no problem. Good to see you here. I know. If you think I skip your questions, just put your questions down at the very end so that it scroll through. You guys got to understand when you guys are complaining, you have to put yourself in the person's perspective. Number one, this is free coaching for you. Number two, if I have to pause right now and scroll up and down, it's gonna waste everybody's time who's watching. So to save me time, why don't you go ahead and drop your questions on the bottom? Okay? All right, I'm giving you guys a solution right there. Just make sure that you don't spam. Do it in that order. All right. Thank you so much, Punit. Yes, yes. I need more moderator in here to help me. Good to see you. Good to see you as always. Purple Sparkle. And once I've answered one of your questions, I wanted to make sure that I go to someone new. That way I'm not stuck with one person for 15 minutes. Okay. And welcome. With Delta variant, I put my kids' online classes fall. 3 days I won't be if it will impact negative on my job. So your company wants people to come in 2 to 3 days in-house, which you won't be able to. If I say that it will that negative my job? Here's the thing, guys. Remember when I mentioned earlier that I feel like my passion is to truly bring happiness into your life and not to get a job? I believe that your job to work around your personal life, not your personal life work around your job. Hence why I quit my job and have my own business, right? You need to find a position or even your current company, and you need to have the open communication with them. And if you're not honest with your employer, they won't know and they will think it's okay. Now, a lot of the people just kind of suck it up because they're afraid to get laid off or get fired, so on and so forth. That's just me. Sometimes when a position doesn't work out, it's leaving you opportunity for something better. Okay? It is. It opens up the door for something better. So don't feel like you have to mold yourself around with an employer that isn't flexible with your personal schedule, especially when you've got kids. I have a kid and I'm a single mom, which is why I quit my job because my job required me to be in the office 5 days a week. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. My job, any employer at the time before the pandemic, require, you to basically answer email, answer things like almost like immediately. I'm sorry, I can't. My son is a priority. So this YouTube channel alone, you guys are my priority. But even so, if my kid is pulling me, guess where my priorities are? My kid. So this is a pure example that it's important for us to think about the workplace and the type of workplace that we want to put ourselves in. And you need to be very clear. Don't just accept a position or do a job where you're struggling to balance work-life balance if that's what you're looking for, and taking time away from your children. Okay? Nova. Okay, cool. Jose says, could you please show us the playlist again? Guys, it's really simple. It's on my main channel, but let me show you, okay? Hang on a second here. Jose. So over here, hang on, Jose. I'm just making this pretty so I don't show you my entire screen. All right, are you guys ready? Jose says, can you please show me? And I'm going to show you. Your wish is my command, Jose, okay? So this is what I'm looking at. If I go down, sorry guys. If I go down here, okay? If I go down, do you see my name right here? My name will take you to my main channel. Just Holly Lee. I want you to click on Holly Lee. When you click on Holly Lee, there's a big button right here that says playlist. You see that? It says playlist. I'm making it a little bigger in case you can't see it. Playlist. If you are a YouTube member of my community, this community tab has a lot of the view that public eyes do not see. Okay? So I made a post. This is yesterday on why do you want to work for Amazon or whatever company. And there's a lot of tips on here. And there's a link to today's live. This is how I remind you. There's a lot of the folks that are member only. Specifically, the template that I talk about is all in here. And you can do a search as well for template. There's multiple templates in here to help you create your story. Let me make this a little smaller. This template right here, I'm not going to make this. This is your elevator pitch. Tell me about yourself. Okay. There's actually step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to teach you how to do it. Let's go to the playlist session. This is playlists. In the playlist, I don't have that many playlists. Look at it. That's all my playlists. I'm trying to trim it down even more. The reason why I move them out and not stagger them in is so that you don't get confused. Okay. Virtual interview, so on and so forth. If you are looking to land a job offer, I highly recommend this right here. You see my mouse? My mouse is right here. Branding and networking. But this is my number one most popular playlist right here. Amazon Leadership Principle Interviewed right here. This one. Okay. In this playlist, if you look at the playlist, if you click on the playlist, by the way, it's right here. You see that? This is all of my story. There's an example for you people. It is entirely free. Can we say hallelujah on the bottom? It is free. Free, free, free. Some people charge you for this stuff. I don't. It's free. Okay? There's actually the how. The how part explains to you what is invent and simplified, the type of question that will be asked, and you get my template. And on top of that, you have a template to walk you through how to answer that. Okay? And so on and so forth. There's 10 of this is my newest one. This is the most recent leadership principle. I don't focus on just the LP as mentioned, but I focus on the story that would hit all 100% of the LP. Okay? 100%. So there you have it, guys. That is a playlist. While we're on the playlist topic, I'm going to hit the arrow key. You see that? Go back. Another one really, really important is the Amazon Star Interview. People, do not miss the Amazon Star Interview. You need to learn how to talk before you walk. This is a horrible video. It's my second video ever made. I explained to you the importance of the my three technique, okay? Again, this is the playlist, the STAR method questions and answer. I'm giving you the question and answer, people. What are you waiting on, seriously, okay? There's a link in there also that you can download my STAR template. Look at this, guys. They're all free. Free, free, free. Can I say free one more time? All right. So if you go back to my main channel, you just have to hit Holly Lee right there. Okay. If you go back, you see this. It says free. There's a lot of things that says free, by the way. Okay. The free, if you click on my company logo right here, it will bring you to a link to download my free STAR template. Just follow it step by step. It will help you create your story. As mentioned, I'm working on a masterclass that's coming up. If you're interested in that, you have to reach out to me on LinkedIn so I can send you the registration. All right? So with that in mind, and we are going to stop sharing now. There you go. I'm back. Now that I'm back, I need to go back to see the question so I don't miss your question. Hang on, guys. 1 second, please. I need to go back. Live right here. Hang on 1 second. I don't want to miss anybody, so I need to do this. Alrighty. Okay. Did I mention free? That is free. Completely free for you guys. I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear you didn't answer my question or things. It's literally laid out for you. And guess what, guys? It takes a year and a half to do everything that I just show you. If I'm willing to have the patient for a year and a half to create everything for you for free and sharing all of my knowledge for you, even sharing you coaching style, that exactly what my paid VIP member are, I'm giving it to you for free. And all I'm asking is for you to have a little patience with yourself and just do the work. Don't complain. Just do the work and no excuses. That's really it. Okay? All right. Let me see. I don't want to, let me go click for it. You see that when I do that, I have to go all over again. No. Okay. Elizabeth says, answer the questions. For Amazon, all the LP basically back up to how you were customer obsessed. Yes! Yes. You pay attention. Yes, Elizabeth. The first video that I've ever done on my Amazon Leadership Principle playlist was customer obsession. If you haven't seen that video, don't miss it, because I mentioned that Every single questions that you answer have to reflect on how you add value to your customer. Okay? Did you show leadership and ownership? How and what is the right action? Did you take action? It's all wrapped up together. Thank you. Oh my god, I love you, Elizabeth. I get so jazzed. Look at me. So jazzed and so pumped when people actually listen to me. Listen to me, and the ones who actually landed job offer. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm done now. I'm back to reality. Red Riding Hood says, Red Riding Hood says, yes, Holly's Amazon career coaching led me to Google role. I asked the question in the end, how do you measure success? My manager was impressed with that question. Yeah, that's in the template, by the way. How do you measure success? Nakish, thanks for your input. With regards to resume, do the hiring manager focus on example based on the point of the resume? Example can be out of resume as well. I would say both. It's really depending on the interviewer, right? Your peer, your manager, bar raiser, whatever you want to call them. It really depends. The bottom line is like for me personally, I will glance through the resume or have it in front of me as I'm interviewing, but I don't read word by word because when I interviewed candidates, I want a real live connection with you. I want to ask you a question as of unbiased, knowing nothing you came from. I want to see how you're able to come up and how you express yourself. That is how, okay? So it's really depending on the interviewer. Everyone's very different. Yes, we are in this together. Purple Sparkle. Yes, a lot of people are single parents and parents. It breaks my heart when a lot of people reach out to me. And, by the way, in 2020, I don't know if you guys have followed me back then. It was a Christmas holiday, and I made a post on LinkedIn. I was selecting 12 member 12 member where you are the head of household or single parent, and I gave them free coaching. Yeah, I gave those people free coaching. Free coaching. Did I mention free coaching? So yes, I genuinely wanting to see you, especially when I know that you have to put food on the table for your family, so on and so forth. But I also understand that a lot of the folks don't work hard because they're getting the coaching sessions for free. So therefore, I don't think I'd be doing that again. Okay, maybe something different, like putting out a masterclass where I have done the training and you can just watch it rather than taking out my time. And when I mentioned 12 days of Christmas for free, I literally are in Zoom meeting call for you for free. And that's what I've done. And that was really fun during the time. But I have to see that you guys are showing a lot of initiative and wanting to learn because coaching, it really mentally exhausts me. I pour my heart and soul into it. And when I'm coaching you and you're not pouring your heart and soul into you for yourself, it's just a waste of everybody's time. Oh, Giso, thank you so much for being here from Italy. We will see you next time. I hope to see you on Friday at my 9:30 a.m. section, okay? Giannis from Canada. Hello, Giannis from Canada. How are you? My loop for ops manager. My first call was 2 weeks ago, and the site leader who work with, I have 15 story each, 4 to 5 leadership principle. Is that enough? Well, if you are interviewing for a site manager or any kind of especially management role, I'm assuming that this is a level 6 position. You need at least 20 stories because the more story you have is going to help you and bring you back into learning how to recycle some of them, not repeat them. I said recycle. There's a big difference, right? I could use the same situation with 3 different stories, but the content of my story is completely different. You need a lot of that. If you're not ready, you could buy time and give yourself an extra couple more weeks before your next onsite. Okay? Freya. Sorry to ask again, but the interviewer team lead said they will give feedback to the recruiter. I just answered this question, yeah? Was scheduled to Lou 4 days and I haven't heard from her. As mentioned before, don't sit back and hear from the recruiter. Don't get me started on the recruiter because I have a lot of things to talk about the recruiter. I came from a recruiting background I am in the recruiting industry literally my entire career of 20 plus years. And I've seen a lot of things and I just know how they work. If your recruiter's not getting back to you, you spend your time in interviewing with the company. And the least they can do is respect your time and to give you some kind of feedback or a rejection letter. So I would via LinkedIn, your recruiter, and also send them a message every 2 days. I would follow up with them until you get some kind of answer and don't just drop the ball. Sometime, hypothetically speaking, they may be on vacation. I highly doubt it, right? You need to make sure that you follow up with them. They may just be really busy and overwhelmed, or they're waiting for feedback from their manager. Recruiter, if you're watching this right now, for crying out loud, if you don't have the feedback from your candidate, it's really simple solution. Go bug your hiring manager and get back to your candidate. At least let your candidate know that you're waiting for feedback. Anyhow, yeah, that's the life of recruiting. Is it common for the recruiter not to respond? Does that mean rejection? It's not common at all because recruiters should treat it's called candidate experience with a lot of respect, right? It is not common at all. Nikish says, in the loop round on the panel cover LP or only the panel or any kind of position will cover all of the LP. That's basically the entire interview process. Even if you're a technical professional, doesn't matter what position you are in, it's still all the LP, okay? Giannis says, great, thank you for your answer. Well, you're welcome, Giannis. I hope that helps, okay? All righty. I think I got every single person, including the one that says that I missed their questions. I recall answering some of their questions, but I'm just scrolling by really quickly. Cecilia, I had an L6 interview with Amazon last Friday. The recruiter sent email today and said, want to discuss the next step. My friend said that may be an offer, but it may also be downgrade offer, how to negotiate. Great question. This is going to be the last questions, okay? Here's the thing. Number one, don't overthink. Don't waste your time. Just focus on you. When you have made it through the final loop or the final round with any employer, you need to watch my salary negotiation playlist. It tells you where to talk about market data research. Why are you negotiating when you don't know what your worth is? Okay. Rather than repeating myself, every single thing is in that video. It's 8 minutes long. I highly encourage you to look for it. It's just Amazon salary negotiation or salary negotiation playlist. Okay. When you do that, make sure that you know exactly what it would take for you to accept the offer. After you negotiate the numbers, that's it. Don't go back and give everyone a headache by changing your mind. Some people like to do that. It will turn the recruiter and the hiring manager off. Okay. That's why it's very critical for you, professional, to do your homework before you negotiate anything. All right. Downgrade or upgrade if your offer is a lower level offer, there's nothing you can do. That's the bar that you've hit. A lot of people get upset at Amazon because they think they're 6 and they're 5. Well, it's even if you have a lot of the level 6 experience, it's in your ability to articulate what you have done. That's where the miss is. I can tell you this because a lot of the customers are going through the same thing. You could be a new grad or VP or CEO of the company. I can tell you, same thing. Yes, I've had CEO of companies before. Same thing. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for spending today with me. And for all of you Pay YouTube member, I will see you on Friday. Have a lovely, lovely day and take care.